Donald Trump got confronted by a reporter, and what came out of his mouth next was so bad, so embarrassing, that it didn't just humiliate him, it put the entire Republican Party on blast. We are talking hypocrisy, we are talking lies, we are talking about a moment that's going to live rent free in your head for a while. So stay with me, because this one gets good. And if you enjoy this kind of content, drop a like and hit subscribe. It genuinely helps more than you know. Alright, so here is how this whole thing started. Trump decided to hold a press conference today. And the reason reporters had even the chance to corner him because the leader of the free world was door dashing McDonald's to the White House. I'm not joking. I truly wish I was making this up, but I'm not.
Just delivered McDonald's, and I hope she is tipped very well. I'm sure she is. An incredible, of course, testament to the president, as always, caring for his staffers in the best way that they always love, which is a McDonald's.
She's not going to forget that delivery.
No.
Okay,
Neither are we.
She has no idea. National news.
Because, Emily, we do know the media.
So there he is, president of the free world, waiting on a DoorDash order. And reporters saw their opening and pounced. Now we are going to get to the really spicy part of the story in just a bit. Trust me, you don't want to skip ahead. But first, Trump got asked about his endgame with the naval blockade and the war situation with the Iran. And honestly, his answer tells you everything you need to know. How in over his head this man really is.
Mr. President, as far as the naval blockade is concerned, what's the end game? Is it to force Iran back to the negotiating table? Is it to open up the strait so that gas prices ultimately come down?
Maybe everything. I mean, both of those things, certainly, and more. We can't let a country blackmail or extort the world, because that's what they're doing. They're really blackmailing the world. We're not going to let that happen. And you know, the amazing thing is, we don't, can you believe this? We don't use the strait. We don't need the strait. We have our own oil and gas, much more than we need. We have more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia. Think of this. We produce more. Saudi Arabia, and add Russia to it.
Maybe everything. That's the answer. That is the plan. This man is winging an entire military operation, and he wants us to feel safe about it. And if this wasn't enough, Trump then decided to go off on one of his classic rants, lying yet again about the 2020 election being rigged. Same old song, same old lies. But watch just how unhinged this one gets.
Many different ways the election was rigged. The 2020 election was rigged. We found that out. What you just said is just a piece of that. It's a big piece, but minor, relatively speaking, compared to what they did. They cheated in the election. They cheated on the vote. They cheated in every way possible, and it's the only way we got an incompetent man to be a president. And he was an incompetent man. Many of the things that we're talking about, even including this would have been settled a long time ago, not now. And it should have been settled by other presidents. But the election was a rigged election. We can't let that happen to our country.
Alright, so now here is one of moments from this whole press conference, because this is where things get kind of hilarious. Trump spotted the DoorDash delivery woman, the grandma, who brought him his McDonald's. And instead of just saying thank you like a normal human being, he decided to put her on the spot in the most awkward way possible. And watch how she handles it like an absolute professional.
They want to have, open borders. They want to have men playing in women's sport. Do you think that men should play in women's sports?
I really don't have an opinion on that.
You don't, I'll bet you do.
No, I'm here about no
Pizza.
tax on tips.
Yeah. Okay.
She came to deliver food, not to debate culture war politics with the President of the United States. And she handled it with more grace and professionalism than Trump has shown in years. Honestly, she deserves a raise. But now we get to the part of the story that I have been dying to talk about since we started this video. Because this is where it all falls apart for Trump in the most spectacular way. A reporter confronted him directly about a post he put up on Truth Social, a post where he depicted himself as Jesus Christ. And when asked about it, Trump's explanation was, well, just watch it for yourself.
Did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
He thought it was him as a doctor. A doctor. That is his story and he's sticking to it. Look, I don't know what is more insulting. The fact that he posted it in the first place, or the fact that he genuinely thinks we are going to buy that explanation. And the real reason he deleted it. He wasn't just getting heat from the left. He was getting heat from his own people. His own MAGA base started pushing back. And that is when he quietly hit delete and pretended the whole thing never happened. Now, in the middle of all of this chaos, someone else decided to weigh in. And she did not hold back. Hillary Clinton gave a response to Trump's recent string of unhinged posts. Not just the Jesus one, but all of it. And what she said is something a lot of people needed to hear.
For example, since Easter Sunday and through today, really some would call profane posts by the president. And I just wonder how that fits into staying focused. The Easter Sunday message, the president threatening to decimate a civilization, and then just, I think, overnight posting himself as Jesus. Does reaction to that fit into the message? And what is your reaction?
Absolutely. I mean, we need to hold leaders accountable for what they say as well as what they do, because words, especially from an American president, have real consequences. And when you look at the last week of unhinged rants coming from Trump's social media account, it's just disgraceful. I mean, threatening civilizational genocide, threatening Pope Leo, threatening the values. You know, I want to get back to this point. You know, you hear Trump and Vance and these people prattle on and on about Western civilization. I don't think they've ever taken a course in Western civilization. I was lucky enough to take one at Wellesley College all those many years ago. And Western civilization has a real meaning. It is a meaning about our values, our institutions. This country of ours is a result of the development over centuries of Western civilization. It is about how we hold leaders accountable so they don't become autocrats and dictators, and how they don't lead us into, you know, reckless wars and really unhinged attacks on, you know, the first American Pope. So, yes, accountability is a very broad concept. It's not just about holding people accountable for the crimes that they've committed, maybe the bribes that they've taken, the kind of, unaccountable power they've exercised. It's also about holding them to a standard, and the standard should be American democracy, our institutions, the rule of law, how we conduct ourselves. And it's not just about the laws we pass, but the norms that we follow, all of which have been broken by this president. So I read those, like, I think, I hope the majority of Americans, both shaking my head and really just feeling sick at heart that we have a president who is such a disgrace. And it's about what we should stand for that he positions himself against, using slogans like Western civilization and admiring somebody like Putin who wants to destroy Western civilization. So let's be really clear about what accountability means here, and let's start holding him accountable for what he says and what...
And honestly, that hits different, because she's not wrong. It is hard not to sit here and wonder how differently things could have gone if 2016 had played out another way. How much of this division, this chaos, this daily circus we are living through might have been avoided. But that is not the world we are in. The world we are in has a president who door dashes McDonald's, thinks he looked like a doctor in a Jesus painting, and corners delivery grandmas about women's sports. So the fight isn't over. It's just getting started. And if you believe that accountability actually matters, that these moments needs to be called out and talked about, then do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's keep this conversation going together.